All right, today we're diving into the story of a gadget that, on paper, promises the world in a tiny package, the Xiegu X5105 portable radio. But this isn't just a story about a radio. It's really about what happens when the official instructions just run out and the true nature of a product gets revealed by the people who are actually out there using it. So let's start with that promise, right? According to the official user manual, this thing is designed to be an ultra-portable, all-in-one solution for ham radio operators. And I mean, it looks the part, doesn't it? It's compact, it looks rugged, totally ready for an adventure. So let's really dig into that official promise. What exactly makes this radio a shack in a box, at least according to the marketing? Well, the amount of tech they've crammed into this thing is what really jumps out at you. The manual lists a built-in battery, an automatic antenna tuner, digital signal processing. I mean, they've essentially packed an entire radio setup, what hams call a shack, into this one small portable box. It is the absolute dream for anyone who wants to operate from a park or a mountaintop. And this shot really shows off the device's potential. Just from looking at the screen layout, you can tell this is a powerful, feature-rich machine. So that's the promise, right? A complete, powerful radio station you can literally hold in your hands. But how does it actually hold up in the real world? So now, let's put it to the mountaintop test. We're shifting away from the clean, perfect world of the user manual and heading into the rugged outdoors, where portable radio operators hang out on forums like the SOTA Reflector to share what really happens. And for those of you wondering, SOTA stands for Summits on the Air. And boom, here's the first reality check. A user immediately questions one of the radio's key selling points, its portability. He points out that once you factor in all the necessary bits and pieces, it's not exactly the featherlight device you might be hoping for. He even compares it to a classic competitor, the Yaesu FT817, and says it's just as heavy, if not heavier. And when you lay it all out like this, you really start to see the trade-offs. Sure, the X5105 packs in more features like that tuner and a bigger battery, but it's way heavier than the super high-end Elecraft KX2. But more importantly, look at that word under reputation, mixed. That tells a story. Users love the features, but they often complain about software quirks and reliability. But the real drama, that moment where the promise truly crashes into reality, it doesn't start on a mountaintop. It starts with what should be a simple task, a firmware update. And this, right here, is where our story takes a very sharp turn. Okay, so there's a user named Eric. His call sign is W1JH, and he connects his new X5105 to his computer. He's just following the official instructions to install the latest software from Xiegu, expecting a totally routine process. But then, something totally unexpected, and frankly terrifying, happens. He realizes that the radio's bootloader mode automatically erases the existing firmware before the new one is even uploaded. There's no backup. There's no safety net. It's just gone. So he goes ahead and starts the transfer. The software sends a few little packets of data, it kind of stutters, and then it fails completely. The connection just drops. And the new firmware? It's not installed. And because the old firmware was already wiped clean, his radio is now completely dead. It won't turn on. All he gets is this brief, sad blink of the lights. He's left with a very expensive, totally non-functional box. A paperweight. You can just feel the frustration in his forum post. He's tried everything you or I would try. Different computers, different software. He even disconnected the battery, hoping for a reset. But nothing works. He's totally stranded with a bricked device and no official solution anywhere in sight. This is that moment every gadget owner absolutely dreads, right? You follow the rules, you do exactly what the instructions say, and it all goes horribly wrong. So what do you do? What do you do when the official support channels fail and your expensive piece of tech is completely dead? Well, the solution doesn't come from the manufacturer. It doesn't come from the manual. It comes from the one place where so much real-world knowledge lives today, the collective wisdom of the user community. Another user, a guy named Joe, call sign K9SUZ, chimes in with a really simple question. It's a basic diagnostic step, but it turns out to be the key that unlocks this entire mystery. He suggests something called a loopback test. So what on earth is a loopback test? It's actually incredibly simple. You basically just connect the send wire of your cable to the receive wire. Then whatever you type on your computer should pop right back up on the screen. It's the most basic way to confirm that your cable and your port can both talk and listen properly. So Eric follows Joe's advice, tests his cables, and makes a really surprising discovery. Even though his cables seemed to be working, none of his common serial adapters, the ones based on a certain type of chip, could pass this simple test. See, the radio wasn't just being picky. It needed a cable that could handle two-way communication perfectly, and his couldn't. So he built a new cable using a different, more reliable chip. It passed the loopback test, he plugged it in, and what do you know? The firmware transfer worked instantly. And just like that, the radio comes back to life. It was saved. Not by official support, not by some complicated software hack, but by another user's simple insight and a basic hardware test that wasn't mentioned anywhere in the official instructions. So what does this whole story really tell us? Not just about the Xiegu X5105, but maybe about all the complex gadgets we're buying these days. You know, the X5105 really represents this kind of modern trade-off. On one side, you've got the promise from the manual, a simple, powerful, all-in-one device. But on the other side, you've got the reality that the community discovered. It's a fantastic piece of gear for the price, no doubt, but it comes with quirks. It requires a level of troubleshooting that relies on an unofficial manual that's being written one forum post at a time by the people who actually use it. And that really leaves us with a final thought to chew on. In this age of incredibly complex technology, maybe the most important feature of any device isn't listed on the box or in the spec sheet. Maybe, just maybe, it's the strength, the knowledge, and the willingness of the community that forms around it to help each other out.